look, I'm Jeremiah Jackson here with Coach Proms and Aiden Lau. Now, first off, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Now, you guys coming to the season pick fifth in the GMAC. What are your expectations for this season?
Well, our expectation is to be as prepared as anybody can be and go out and compete every single day. I love the group that we have, and I know they'll be ready to play, and we're just going to try to compete to our highest level and be playing the best that we can at the end of the season. So our goal will be to have an opportunity to compete for a conference championship.
Yeah, and you guys were close to reaching that game last year, but how can you guys carry that into this season? You guys were so close.
Just going into that, obviously last year was a big step forward for us. I'm in my fifth year here, but first 3-4 years, just didn't see as much success as we did last year. So just building off that, like you said, we have a great team, great group of guys. So we were turning almost our whole lineup as well. So just bringing that energy, like I said, our first 4 years, we didn't really know what it took to get to that spot, but we got to that spot. We played pretty well too. So just building off that and keep growing.
Yeah, and you just spoke of you guys bringing back a lot of people. How big of a play is that, bringing back so much experience?
It's huge, I think, just experience, because college baseball is a whole different game. Obviously, high school baseball is one thing, but the college game is just a lot faster. So having guys that have all those at-bats and have been in those pressure situations, it's very valuable.
Yeah. Now, what are some of the things you guys focus on this offseason?
Obviously we do a little bit of everything. We want to be as prepared as we can, and so by position we're trying to work to help each guy achieve the type of player they want to be as an individual player. But we've also got to come together as a team, and so our emphasis right now is the team focus, making sure we know where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there, and how and when we need to execute, making sure we understand what we need to do. But I guess the focus kind of changes as the year goes on, but right now the main focus is on the team and having that success moving forward.
Yeah. Now, being a coach and a player, but who are you guys, outside of the sport of baseball?
Being a college student, obviously playing a sport, being in season is crazy, but I think we're a very close group of guys. That's definitely been a blessing here. I'm close to every single guy on this team, but we definitely have our things we like to do. I know a lot of guys, we're big into golfing, so especially when the weather gets out, we love to go golf. We're also close with a lot of kids in the golf team. We stayed in their dorm our freshman year, so they'll always take us out on the course, and they'll beat us around a little bit because they're on the golf team. But we like to do that and just hang out. We're big card game too, so whenever we're in the hotels or anything too, we're playing euchre and games like that. Yeah. So just little things like that, just to keep our mind off baseball, so it's not only baseball 24/7.
Yeah. You guys pretty good at golf?
I'm all right. Definitely not as good as I should be for playing how long, but the baseball swing and the golf swing don't mix well, so that's my excuse.
Yeah.
and I would say I'm a dad and husband. My wife and I have 4 kids, and so it's fun right now. They're getting older. My oldest son played here and graduated in 2020, and so sometimes he helps us when we have to divide and conquer when there's multiple events going on. But just going and watching my kids and spending time with my wife. Other than that, there's a lot of time spent here at UF with the baseball program.
Yeah. Now, you say your son played here.
Yeah.
Baseball?
Played baseball for the previous coach, Coach Perrell. And
so you didn't get a chance to coach your son?
I did not. My youngest son is a freshman here, though. Nick is on the team, so I am coaching him.
How was that? Because, in high school, I had my dad coach me.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. So how was that for you?
I think it's been a great experience. I think obviously there's some things that you're worried about when you're bringing your son into that situation, but the guys have been amazing. You worry about how are they going to treat him, knowing he's my son, but he loves it here. He's had a great experience, and I just got back into coaching 3 years ago, and so it would have been really hard for me to get back into coaching and then not having him come to play here. So it's been an amazing experience, and looking forward to it. And he knows he's got to earn his right out on the field, and I think our guys know that too. So that's why it's been such a good relationship.
Oh yeah. Now looking ahead to your first game of the season, what is the keys to the matchup against Saginaw Valley?
I think Saginaw's got a lot of guys coming back too. They've got most of their lineup, most of their rotation coming back. We played them 5 times last year. beat them twice. They got us 3 times. We were 2-2 with them down in Florida, and then they got us in a close game up at their place. And so I just think the games we won, we were cleaner. We walked less people. We gave them less opportunities defensively, and so I think it's just, if we go out and we play the way we're capable of playing and play clean, and I think again this year is going to be an advantage because we have most of our lineup back, and so those guys have confidence, and I think that's one of the things that I think we really grew last year as a program, whereas I think prior when things got tough. Guys were so used to losing that it just happened naturally, and last year our guys started believing that when we got to those situations we could and should win, and that's kind of what carried. We lost the first game of the conference tournament and then won 3 straight before getting beat by Northwood, and so I just think it's that confidence, knowing that the game's not over. That's the great thing about baseball, right? If we're playing a 9-inning game, they have to get 27 outs. It doesn't matter what the score is, and I think our guys have confidence in themselves and each other to continue to compete all the way through. And so I know we'll be a tough out no matter what the final score is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's about getting settled in with it being the first game of the season and all. I mean, obviously there's going to be jitters. Like, I still get jitters before every game, but first game of the season especially, all the younger guys out there playing too. I mean, there's going to be jitters, so just getting settled in. Like Coach Palm said, like, the game's not going to be won in the first inning, so just getting through those first couple innings, like staying calm. So just staying the course.
Yeah.
Definitely important.
And piggybacking on that, can you kind of speak to like the leadership of this team?
I think I think it's been great. I think we definitely have some more vocal guys in the team, but I think everyone leads by example, and that's been good because I think we've done a great job of having players hold each other accountable. So it's not always coming. It's one thing for something to come from the coach, but if a players are holding players accountable, I think that just makes it so much more important. So, like, they may or may not listen to a coach, but if a player has another player coming up to him, like, they're going to listen. So I just think it's great that we can all hold each other accountable. It doesn't only have to come from the coaching staff, but the players as well.
Yeah, that's really good to have.
And I think that's a great comment. It's one of the things we are really trying to build and continue to work on every single day is, obviously the head coach has to set the expectations and hold people accountable. And you can have a good program when that's happening if all the leadership is driven by the coach. But when the team is leadership driven by the players, then you have a chance to be really successful. And we've grown in that over the last 2.5 years, really. And so we've got a great group of leaders within our program, and I think first of all, you have to hold yourself accountable if you're a leader to the standards. They do a great job of that, but then also you have to have that voice. If you're a leader, you have to have your voice and be willing to hold others accountable. It's a hard thing because it's your peers, right? They're your friends, but if you really want to be truly great at anything, you've got to be able to tell people and talk to people and do it the right way, but holding yourself accountable and holding your teammates accountable is how you're really successful.
Yeah. And, the final question of this interview, what was you guys' favorite moment from last season?
I think we had a lot of good moments, like just in general, like being on the road with all the guys. Like, we have long bus rides to Florida, North Carolina, so just spending genuine time with the guys. But if I had to choose like a specific moment, it'd definitely be our tournament down in Prasco. Like those 3 games, our 3 game we had against Kentucky Wesleyan, Walsh, and Trevecca Nazarene. That was the most fun I've ever had playing baseball with all those games, like so much on them, and like everyone was so locked in, and like all the games were close, and we were playing so well and playing like together, and it was so much fun seeing the look on everyone's faces after all those games and just kind of seeing all our hard work paying off in those situations.
Yeah.
And then for me, I think it was just seeing our group grow throughout the entire year and their confidence, because again, I think one of the hardest things to change within a program is going from a program that doesn't expect to win to one that expects to win. And so seeing those guys grow throughout the year and lose the first game of the conference tournament and come back and win 3 and have a chance to play in a game that would send us to the conference championship. But then I think what showed our unity was our guys, they picked 2 guys out and they have a little wrestling match before each game out in the outfield. And so at first it kind of started out and people were peeking, the parents, the coaches, what's going on out there. But it grew, and it was just a really neat team thing that they did before every game, and it kind of brought them together, but also loosened us up, right? You guys, it was kind of our way to, okay, the calm before the storm. Here's the wrestling match. Now let's go.
Yeah, definitely a nice tradition to have. Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Aiden. And thank you guys for watching World Outlook.